Hey guys, back again with another review, and this time it's of 2008's Breathing Room. Yep, this film was in kind of like this film. This film was supposed to be like House of Nine, Red Room, Saw, the first one, I guess, where they're trapped in the room. And to be honest, it fails on every account of the film because there's some suspense and tension grows, but then it gets fallen flat again, you know? So the film stars Alicia Marshall, Michael McLafferty, David Higlan, Brad Culver, Kim Estes, Keith Foster, Stephen Gaston, Austin Highsmith, Terry Marsteiner. So basically, the film starts with a woman being thrown in a room, naked, and she joins 13 other people. And there's some I guess kind of oh, it's hard to explain. I guess it's like there is some kind of character development, but it goes all over the place. And basically they get her some clothes, then you find out that the collars they're wearing will kill them if they break the rules. Now the host who contacts them isn't disturbing at all. It's not that intimidating. He sounds like this. I think I'm gonna do a thing like him, right? Hello. Oh, what a shame, he's dead. And you're like, oh, oh, you know. So you're sitting there and you're watching it, and basically they find hints. That's right. If you go to the toilet, you'll find a hint. Whether you rip the toilet roll off the air vent, or you look in a random drawer, all of a sudden you'll find a hint. Yep. Some of the hints had one paedophile, one murderer, and one rapist. Find out who they are, and you're like. Another one was 14 is K, and Tonya, who's number 14, is played by Lisa Marshall, and you think, oh, poor girl, she's been thrown in there. Basically, they keep threatening each other, they keep trying to find out what they're doing there, like, one of the first notes they get is find someone's lying, find out who it is. So you basically have them sitting down telling these stories, and people go, you're lying, it doesn't sound right. And you're sitting there going, the budget was only $25,000, and the lighting is terrible. The video quality is terrible. I had to watch it in the VLC player like this big to actually have a really good picture. Because if you have it big, it really, really kind of blurs up a bit. Not the best quality DVD. Cheap DVD, cheap movie. So I'm sitting there and I'm watching it, and they're trying to figure out. And then all of a sudden the lights go out, and someone gets killed. That happens multiple times. The lights go out, somebody's killed. The lights go out, someone's head is in the toilet. No, not cut off, them just laying over it like. Yep. And to be honest with you, there's a scene where apparently Henry, played number 10, played by Kim Estes. He apparently broke the rules. And the host has got his granddaughter. So he kills himself to save her. And you're like, you know. Then there's a bit right at the beginning where they go, oh, let's just walk out the door. The bloke walks out the door, he goes, and he goes, ha ha ha. And I'm like, yeah, this means you're going to die in a minute. And so it did. There's a door leading to apparently a brick wall. But when I saw him dead, the bloke, hold on, I'll wait till later. And basically, basically there's apparently a blank wall there. So they're trying to figure out how to get these cheap, terrible, like like, you know, like when you get a Coke can, the alumini metal. I think it's called alumini metal. They look like that. Like you could have just gone. And people were you're supposed to believe that people were getting seriously electrocuted with them. So I'm sitting there going, I watched the wrong movie tonight. So I'm sitting there and I'm watching it and I'm like, come on, it's got to get better. So it turns out there's a gun in a box and there's a key. So someone finds the key, the gun, it has got no bullets, so they put the gun back. So you're sitting there going, okay, it's got no bullets, so somewhere down the line they're going to get bullets, surely. And they don't. So at one point, all of a sudden, people getting killed, and the bloke goes, "There's someone in here, grab hold of him." There's this guy in a white prison yard suit, like they're in like orange and black ones or blue ones. Hard to tell by video quality. And they talk to him, and then they just trust him all of a sudden. And they go, "Oh, check the wall, check the wall," and basically goes outside, and they go, "Robert, Robert, are you there, Robert? Robert?" And you're sitting there going, okay. And he answers, he goes, "I'm here. Robert is here." And you're like, "Okay, Robert, what's going on?" "Robert is here." "I know you're here, Robert, but what are you doing?" So it turns out, he goes, "There's a brick wall, but I found these." And he found a whole big case of bullets. And you're sitting there going, he found a case of bullets, because they take the collar off him, because they do this thing, it takes it off him. So he goes there, that's how comes he can get through. So one of the hints is, only people without collars can break the rules. So most of them don't bother trying to get that collar off, which, to be honest with you, it's off. But so they build. So basically, what's his name? Let me get it right. Michael McLafferty, played as 8, who is Lee. He, get this, he decides that let's break all the bullets and let's make a big massive gunpowder and that to blow that wall up. Right? Okay. So they do it, the light goes, it doesn't work. Or you don't think it works. And they're like, "Why didn't it work?" Then all of a sudden, bang, 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 and it happened. Right? But the thing that annoyed me the most about was the sounded like a broken window getting smashed, like boom. You know how when you smash a window? That's how it sounded like. And I was like, oh dear. Couldn't they even hire a good sound? So basically, Robert goes, "We did it. We did it. I'm Robert. I'm here, and we did it." And you're like, "Yay, Robert. You've only been in it for 10 minutes, but yay." Then the lights go out, he gets killed, right? And then when they have a look to see his dead body, he's laying on stairs. And I'm like, hold on a minute, what's he doing on the stairs? Well, the stairs to this next area, because it looked like she was looking around the corner, and he was right by inside the doorway where the stairs were right beside that doorway, which they could have walked in normally. That could have been a miscalculation on my part, or it could be just a cheap budget that bloody ruined it even more. So basically, then Tonya goes into the toilet, the bathroom, sorry. She goes into the bathroom, and and we find out that 5, Harry, is the rapist. And I knew he was the rapist because rapists or paedophiles in movies are normally fat, little, chubby men with glasses. They're normally either a paedophile or they're a rapist, because they're stereotyped in movies. I'm not saying that's the way they are in real life, but that's how they're stereotyped most of the time in movies. They've got glasses, they look a little bit creepy, and normally they're short and a little bit chubby. So he goes for it, and she gets out of the way, and you're like, well, he was a bit terrible at that. So then you find out that Lee's got the gun, and he's got some bullets in it, and you're like, go Lee, come on Lee, yeah, come on Lee. So basically, Lee shoots him just as basically Harry stabs him, and they both die. Tonya then goes through the door, and spoiler alert, it turns out she's working for the people behind it, and it's supposed to be some scientific tests, which we don't really know what the scientist test was about. I'm guessing it was about human nature. Other than that, I can't imagine anything else about it. And then he says, "So we need you to go into number 2, room 2." So she sits there, she starts writing down on her report, and then she falls into the next one naked again. You're just sitting there going, this is like House of 9. House of 9, I think House of 9 stars Dennis Hopper, if I'm correct. And basically, at the end of that, they get out of the room. They get out of the room, and just checking to see if I'm right. Yeah, it is. And basically, they get out of the room in House of Nine. They get out of the room, and then basically they're in the next room trying to survive. So it's like over and over and over again. And that was kind of like this, except there was the thing in the middle where basically the bad guy was in the thing. There's no real conclusion to the movie, no real story to this movie. The movie's a big mess. The lighting's bad, the cinematography's bad, the acting's not good. I would highly not recommend it due to acting. If you like movies where people are stuck in a room and they talk and nothing happens, this is the movie for you. It was made on $25,000. Which, to be honest with you, isn't a lot of money, and I think they did a fairly good job with it. But I feel like I could have been on a college and been a part of a film course or something and done better, because the acting was just appalling. It was just bad. I didn't feel for any of the characters. I didn't care about the characters. When I found out basically that Tonya was the one that was behind it with another blow, I didn't care. I wasn't really bothered. You know, I just kept sitting there going, is this all going to end soon? It was an hour and a half, and I felt like it could have easily been a 45-minute movie. Or an hour, to be generous. Because nothing goes on in it. They're sitting there looking at the notes, the hints they're called in the movie. They're going on about, oh, what's it here, what's this, what's that. The lights go off, someone gets killed, lights go back on. More research on the notes. The lights go off, someone gets killed. The host comes on the TV and says some stuff about, oh, you can't break the walls. Oh, and the host, and on the wall it says, people who do not clean their hands will be killed. Yep. So whatever you do, when you go out, make sure clean those hands, because you don't know if there's a killer out there who's going to throw you in a room. I think that's what the whole thing was about. The whole scientific research was about, when you go to the toilet, how many people wash their hands. Just to make it more interesting, we will put a rapist, a murderer, and a paedophile in it. And what we will do is we'll make people get angry and see who needs to take the biggest piece of shit in the movie. I can tell you right now, the biggest piece of shit in the movie is the film itself. Yeah. So it was very disappointing. The cover looks pretty cool. You'll see it on my thumbnail. It looked pretty cool. It looked interesting. I was looking forward to it, but it's a big stinker. So I'm going to give it a 1. I'm going to give it a 1. I'm going to give it a 1 out of 5. I'm going to give it a 1 out of 5 because I got through it, and that normally means that I'll give it a 1. Because it was bad. It was just terribly directed, terribly acted. There's no real redeemable features about it. You know, I just can't recommend it. Nothing really happens. You don't see any of the death scenes other than the people dying from poisoning. And there's nothing going on in the movie. And they're in a cheap warehouse. It's like a cheap warehouse set, and it just looks boring. And you're like, why would they be stuck in a warehouse room and given a toilet? Given a restroom? Why not make them pee all that in a bucket to make it even more interesting? You know, I just sat there going, this movie's a stinker. So I'm sorry about that, guys. I cannot recommend this movie. I think this movie's a letdown. I think it's terrible. I think it's low budget rubbish. For 25 grand, they could have done a lot better, I believe. I know it's a small amount of money, but you can utilise things and make a far better film than what they did. If you like films like this, I recommend House of Nine. I recommend Red Room 1 and 2. Saw, obviously, but we've all seen Saw, I think. And there's some others out there which I can't really remember at the minute. But yeah, so guys, it's a 1 out of 5. And I just can't recommend it. So, refreshing on it. Bad directing, bad acting, bad everything. If you want to see the movie, my response to that is go to your restroom, sit on the toilet, take a dump, look down that toilet before you flush it, and you've seen the movie. So, so yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. As always, take care and have a lovely, lovely day.